Collective, what's up? How you guys doing? I would like to thank you guys for tuning in to Only the Realist. And be mindful that this reading will not resonate with every single one of you. There are millions of energies on planet Earth. And without further ado, we're going to jump right in. It's going to be a live reading. And let us begin. Alright, we have the Ace of Cups with the Page of Swords. Okay. All right, so here with the the Ace of Cups here with the Page of Swords, um, something is coming into your life that is going to excite you. Okay, and I mean excite you as in like it's gonna make you feel fulfilled, right? For that period, um, and when this communicates with you, and what I mean by that is when you notice that it is there, um, there's going to be specific changes. Okay, there's going to be specific changes in the way that you view life, right? Okay, this could be your love situation. This could be your job. You know, um, someone presenting something to you that you need. And it could be things that you've planned for or have not planned for. Hard work pays off. Okay, definitely creating something new here for you, for yourself, right? um and when I say, hard work, I mean the work that you put not only into your life, uh finances and things like that. I mean what you put into yourself, right? um it's when you have your 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 understanding of yourself, right? When you have that, um it doesn't matter what you obtain. uh that will that will be the the main thing that follows you through your life, right? Anyone can obtain money. Someone who understands themselves and life, and someone who understands life but doesn't understand themselves. Um, and typically, I have a saying for that, or I usually have something to say for that, and it's you can have someone become successful, and then um, fill in the the lessons and things of life after, or you can have someone who goes through life, and then at the end they will receive, um, you know what they deserve, um, plus what they've worked for. um, it all just depends, but typically there's always just two ways. And you can have someone who's successful, who is really rude and can't really be social with people because of because they think that they have a higher power of thinking because they earn money in a faster way. But the person who went through life and saw things, experienced things, socialized with others, made a lot of mistakes, um, lost a lot of money, all of these things combine into one. You cannot remove that from someone's life. You know, that is how they that is how they became who they became. You know, you can become you can become who you are by stealing something from someone and paying for the consequences later, or you can take the, the little bit of a longer route. And I'm talking about this for life, like, of course you can make money fast in fast ways, in a whole bunch of different ways, good or bad. But what I'm talking about specifically is your actual life, how you talk to people, how you present yourself in a commonly respectful way. Um, how do you view, having a wife and children, and having something to, have as a legacy for your life? How do you see, um, you know, uh, the homeless man standing on the side of the road, no matter how much money you have, um, if you, if you, you know, if you're sitting that day and saying, man, like, I wouldn't like to be in that position, and you give 50 cents, a dollar, $20, however much you feel like you should give. These are the kind of things that give you that better understanding of who that person is. Like, who are you? You know, and the person doesn't have to tell you who they are. You know who they are by how they present themselves, how they communicate with you, and how they treat and respect others. Uh, and that's I I I see that here with you, collective. Here is that, you know you've been trying to reach something deeper within yourself, and uh and I believe a lot of those things that I spoke about just now is what's at hand here. um and I believe that that's a beautiful way to start um a mature life, right? uh and it doesn't matter what circumstances you're in, you can still learn how to become mature. You can still be fun, loving, outgoing, all of those things that you were before, but at the same sense, a sense of maturity will need to come through. I mean, none of us go through life without lessons. So, you know, those lessons teach us, teach us, and if it keeps going around again and again and again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have you have missed the lesson or you failed the test. um, but it 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 shows you other things, right? And I feel like that's the more longer journey, right? For people who can't quite understand, okay, this is good or this is bad, right? And none of us have to be a genius to know what is good and what is bad, right? We all know that. We don't, you know, um, and through life, right? Life will show us what is good and what is bad. right? Um, you do this, and the repercussions are this. The consequences are this, and it's kind of hard to understand that, because in the back of our head we're saying like, this is life, like there's nothing controlling how I will get in trouble or how these things will find its way to me. But that's only our human way of thinking, right? We have to surpass that human way of thinking, because let's just be honest, a human way of thinking is just, it's just common, you know. But when, but for those who have had those experiences of certain types of, you know, entities or angels or demons or visions of your past self, or you know, certain spiritual things that allow you to know, like, this is, like, we do not live, this is not just a planet, you know, like, we know that, you know. And I don't know, it's so weird, like, life's an interesting thing. We have the death here with the wheel of fortune. So again, this collapse, right? um it's you're being shown something, and it's not a collapse as if something's being destroyed. It's a collapse as in that transformation that's going on within you, right? There's certain things that are just leaving, right? And this is the good thing, right? When things leave out of our life, exactly like money, right? Well, for an example, we'll use money. When you give, when you throw money in places, that transforms into something, maybe not for you, but it's transforming itself for someone else. And then, depending on the situation that you're in and how you use your money, um, it can definitely transform, it can definitely open doors towards the transformation that you are moving forward to. um, but in general, when you are giving money out in different ways, um, that energy is going to, it's finding its way to other places, and eventually you will see, um, uh, what it all compiled to. Just as an example, um, what it all compiled to, what it all became, right? You know, um, I don't know. It's the world is so tricky, especially when it comes to spirituality, because you know not everyone has spiritual or divine experiences of things that other people haven't, and it's kind of hard to explain to people who are common within the world, um, of things that would almost be like a either a delusion or a hallucination to them, right? um and it becomes this kind of tricky thing where, like, you know you feel like you're kind of weird for talking about it, but then, like, you actually had the experience of it, and so it's kind of just like, what do I think, but we're here with the Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing here for you. Okay, again, those doors are being, you know they're being opened, um for you to start a new beginning. This is cool, guys. Um, but yeah, uh, a lot of, get into that space, that mental space, and really free up those, you know what I mean? Free up all the things that you know, not you feel, not you think, but you know are blocking the way forward. Whether that's, success, whether that's trying to mature and build a family, or whether that's trying to go to school and things like that, right? But, you know, release that, allow that to go on its own way, because typically we start to understand that not only does all the people, places, and things that we have in our life all have to move in its own direction eventually. We understand that we are doing this, mainly ourselves, right? As a person, right? As a being, we're doing these things on our own, right? Wake up in the morning. Okay, who wakes you up in the morning? Well, when you naturally wake up, you kind of just either sit there or your alarm wakes you up and you go to work, but you do it yourself, It's not something that someone else does for you. So in a sense, we all are not alone because we're all here together, but we are walking our own life alone. We do it alone. We are taught things, um, but those things that we are taught, our own mind has to want to learn it, right? Um, and that's the thing. We're doing these things alone. You know, that's why it is key to not only communicating to to people that you like making your own decisions, right? Especially when it comes to understanding that you are your own person and things like that. You make every decision that you've ever made ever since you learned how to, not be in the provision of your parents. You know, um, you it's natural for us to learn, you know, and it's natural for us to do things, not alone, right? We're all here together, but walk your path alone. You have your own thoughts. You have your own, a way of doing things. Of course, there are, right? There are specific things that we know that are what? Good and bad. So don't try to take away from that, by saying, I have my own mind, I do what I want. There are differences, within good and bad, and obviously we will all face those repercussions and consequences of what we decide to make a good or bad decision on. But that's the learning experience of life. um, we have the Five of Wands and we have the Page of Cups. Okay. So I'm getting that um there's gonna be some conflict coming up here when it comes to the emotions. Okay, this could be dealing with, you know, um, well, this is dealing with others actually. Um, but I feel like just kind of keep it cool. This is this is a test here. Um, but just kind of keep your eyes and mind, open to just building what you're building right now, creating what you're creating right now, right? Six of Cups with the Queen of Swords. Yeah, some some people from the past here, okay? But you're here with the Queen of Wands. You don't truly want to be bothered right now, and this is a good defense. Good defense, you know? Good defense. Because a lot of times when we allow the past to catch up with us, or when we allow people or people and things to catch up with us, and even places, um, uh, you know, the reason why you left that person, place, or thing is so that you can create more discipline and happiness for your own life, right? So don't, cross the line of, allowing the past to catch up with you, or going back to the past to visit or do certain things that don't align with you. Okay. Yeah, we have, the past reminiscing here for you. Okay. Balance is needed. There's going to be some communication coming in. Okay. And always do what's right for yourself. But just understand that if you have had something happen to you over and over and over again, and you have never figured out why it hadn't disappeared, well, just know that this test here is going to be the key to finding that out. Okay? It's going to be the key to finding that out here with the Ace of Swords, ultimate wish fulfillment of communication. Man, we're already 22 minutes in, guys. I'm so sorry. I've been talking the whole time. Two of Wands, again. Yeah, not only was it the bottom of the deck, it's now here in the reading. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Ten of Cups. Someone from your past sees you as, they want to create with you here. But you have this feeling that this is not going to be something that is for you. Okay? Because again, over and 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 over, it when are the steps, when are you going to stop stepping on the stepping stones and walk on the yellow brick road, you know and I believe that you've worked very hard on yourself. I believe that you've worked to transform not only your inner self but your outer world as well. And this is what's helped you. This is what's helped you not only get away from what was going on, but it really inspired you just to stay on the yellow brick road, right? Look at that. Ace of Pentacles, ultimate wish fulfillment of creation, building with the Justice. Yeah. Justice. You already know. You already know. That's some good, you know, some good power, motivation, uh, um, love and wisdom and and new ideas, right? When we have justice, we've we have obtained something in an honorable way, and that is, what I see as karma. uh you know um I used to think about it as in, you know, you receive something back, and you do, but it's not in the way of where you give something and you know you receive it, but you receive it at this time and things like that. And then I started to learn that it comes later, or it comes at a time where you actually need it and not want it. Um, and then I kind of just got into a more, you know, universal way of thinking about it. Even though it all correlates around the same thing, it I feel like it matters much more when you tell people that karma um, means that you are, you know, receiving love and honor and respect and you know those kind of things, because it is a lot more powerful than we think to not only live an honorable life, but to to um, to understand that it's a hard task to live honorable and to try to live honorable, right? Um, but this is awesome here. You know, this is really cool. You know, because at the end of the day, you know, I could be robbing someone, shooting someone, um, um, you know, doing so many other different things, you know, scamming or all of these different things that I could be doing, but what kind of honor comes from thieves, and people that you know take other people's lives and property? Um, it wouldn't give me respect. It wouldn't give me honesty. It wouldn't give me the truth. It wouldn't give me love, and that's how I see other people's experience and learn from it, right? All of these things I named, I passed by someone who did that and spoke to them momentarily, or I knew them. And you know, these kind of things are it teaches you a lot, especially when um, the bad thing does happen to those people that are telling you that they're doing these things in their life. Um, and so far, I've never met anyone who's gotten out of the grasps of facing consequences for their bad actions. I've never met anyone, you know, never. All right, and we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, yeah, with the Devil, some change, right? Some of that change, right? It's exposing itself, right, through this struggle of understanding life, collective, and it wants to grow, right? It wants to grow. It wants to leave the empty places of your life, you know, and it wants to come back with some soil and some water and a seed, um, and it wants to allow things to come. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles, feeling like you don't have enough, but here again with the Wheel of Fortune, things are exposing themselves, right? This is beautiful right here. This opportunity to change your life, right? To change your life, right? And you know, that one idea, right, changes everything. You know, that one idea, right? It just changes everything. that idea to yourself, the idea that you talk to in your, that you know, give yourself, right? Haven't been going to the gym for a while. Okay, but once you get that idea, okay, well, man, I haven't been doing anything. Maybe I should go to the gym. And then you go and then you start a routine. Same thing with eating food. You know, people that are obese, you know, it, it's the idea, you know. If the idea never gets to you right, if it never gets to you correctly, if you never see the sign, right? The sign, a lot of the times, before it's the idea, it's the sign, right? Before it's the idea, it's the sign. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups with the Eight of Swords. The offer is real, yo. The offer is real. This is back to this person. That this person from the past, they feel trapped, right? Feeling trapped. And I see you kind of hesitating to want to give this a chance when it comes in. But again, think about the consequences and repercussions of your decisions, right? Um, Everything can come in at any time and make you feel good. But we don't think about the consequences until it's there for us later. If you're walking a good path right now, stay on that good path. You know, stay on that good path. Is it bad to talk to someone from your past? No. Is it not really a good decision to want to have the activities that you used to have with that person? That's the big question right there, you know? That's the big question, because it can be very easy to get sucked back in to something that it took you so long to get out of, right? It can be so easy. I knew someone who did drugs, and you know, they were off of it for a while, and someone that came someone that used the same drug as them came up and had the drug in their hand. Now, it wasn't until the person that still did the drugs started using the drugs in front of the person who was basically, you know, almost a year or something sober. And what happens is, hey, let me take a hit. I'm not feeling good today. I just lost my parents, or my parent, or my brother, cousin, uncle, grandma, whatever. I just lost my job. This and that. So many things can corrupt the way that you're walking. So many things. And it comes to again, the understanding, right? It comes to the understanding, right? And of course, a person is not the same thing as a drug, but the actions and the situation are definitely the same, completely the same. You know, we can definitely get attached to a person exactly the same way we can get attached to a drug, exactly the same way we can get attached to a video game, exactly the same way we can get attached to so many different things, you know. But um but if you were, again, that one that was going back and back and kept learning so many things, right? And this is the long way, right? Yeah, you get to learn things and stuff like that. It's just you keep pushing back the fact that you are supposed to be running away from this, and not in a fear kind of way. Running away from it as in, I know what I want. And I know that I don't want this in my life because this has not made me happy. This has not made me feel accomplished. This has not given me the strength in my life which helps me to understand more of my discipline and growth and guidance, um, that pushes me closer to who and where and what I would like to be. We have the Chariot. Yeah, there it is. The Ten of Swords. Exactly what we were just talking about this entire time here. With endings come new beginnings. This ending, or these endings, right, which ultimately came to one ultimate ending, because typically everyone goes through one specific thing over and over again. There's one thing, just that one thing, right? We all continue to grow no matter what you've overcome. But you guys can agree with me. I mean, we're all people. One thing. There's one thing. There's one thing, you know? One thing. Someone has that one thing of I can't save money. Someone has that one thing of I can't, get myself in shape because I'm lazy. There's one thing over here that's, I so many things. Okay, I'm not trying to have a 3 hour conversation with you guys because I know your time is limited. But again, it's that one thing, right? And whatever you kept going over and over and over and over again, you know that you've been tested on it so many times that there's no point at all to even take a step back. No point. You know that. Deep within your own spirit, you know that. And, you know, are you going to, pass the boundaries of what is and what isn't, right? Oh, you know, I I'm just a person, they're just a person. No, that's crossing the boundaries, especially if you've been through something so many times with a specific person or people. You know that the times that you kept going over and over, and people and places, and people, places, and things. Sorry, I kind of just left it general as for people, but I mean for people, places, and things. You just know, okay, that place is not good for me, right? I'm pretty sure some of you have been to certain, places, around the either country or the or even the world, for some of you, where you have, where you either live in a few places in that country or around the world, or but either way, it's like, there's one specific place that you don't like at all. Literally, you just don't like. That's why you go over here, and that's why you go over there, and that's why you go over there, and this and that. And it's so weird. But I'm gonna cut this off, guys. Like, if you guys let me, I would literally just talk, but you guys don't have enough time. I'm already 40 minutes in. I think this is the longest reading I've ever done, and most of it was just me kind of just talking. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, guys, it was a great reading. Um stay loving, stay good, stay, you know, honorable to yourself and others, because at the end of your life, those are the greatest respects of people. you know if you have a lot of money and you die, but you gave away a whole bunch of money to people, people aren't necessarily going to remember you. They'll remember that you gave them money, but Most people will remember your respect, right? They will remember what you did for them with or without money, you know. Um uh they will see how hard you had to struggle and work through your life to become who who you become. Uh they will see that you raised children and your children respect you and your wife respects you. um and they will all and they will and your husband will respect you. We're not gender specific here, guys. Sorry about that. um and uh there's just so many great things that come with knowing that we're all gonna, you know, pass to our next life, or die, for those of you who don't believe in reincarnation, or being able to travel to other life lives. But I think that's the greatest thing, knowing that you're gonna die or pass, um, doing great things in service of others, and also servicing and respecting yourself. You know, uh, we live in a society here where money is much more important than a person's life, and I understand it. People don't typically look at money as a tool. They look at money as this is the only thing that I know that will make me successful or make me something greater than my life or others' lives. But that's technically not true. Paper money itself has not even existed for over 200 years. So, um, or not 200 years. I want to. I'll I'll cap it off at 300 years. Okay. Um, but it it's it's and we got to think about it when before paper money, right? We didn't value life in that way, and not saying that we're not supposed to mentally evolve our minds, but let's just be honest. We're we're stuck in a system where we're taught that money means more than our life. Um, but anyways, guys, I'm done. Good night. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. I really like to hear what you guys have to say. And if you guys have been with the gang, I love you guys so much. Monistique, and I'll catch you guys next time.